Concept of common size balance sheet is similar to concept of common size statement of profit and loss. What is common size balance sheet? A statement in which each item of equity and liabilities and each item of assets is expressed as a percentage. Percentage of what? Percentage of the total of equity and liabilities or total of assets. और दोनों तो सेम होते हैं बिकॉज एसेट इज इक्वल टू लायबिलिटी प्लस कैपिटल, तो चाहे ये टोटल या ये टोटल लें दोनों सेम होंगे. आई रिपीट, common size balance sheet is a statement in which each item of equity and liability and assets is expressed as a percentage of balance sheet total or total of equity and liability or total of assets. That means we take the total of balance sheet as a common base. Now, let us see the format of common size balance sheet. Common size balance sheet as at a total of 6 columns. In the particular, first column is particulars. As you can see, it is based on the format prescribed for the company's balance sheet, as we have already discussed earlier. Second column happens to be note number. Third column, the absolute amount for the previous year and absolute amount for the current year. In the prescribed format, current year comes first and later the previous year. But in comparatives and common size statements, we take previous year first and then figures for the current year. Now, the most important columns happens to be 5th and 6th. Fifth column is percentage of balance sheet total. That is, we need to express each and every item as a percentage of total of the balance sheet. Suppose here the total of the balance sheet is 5 lakh and equity share capital happens to be 1 lakh. Then here we will write 1 lakh divided by 5 lakh into 100. That will make 20%. That means each and every item of the previous year is expressed as a percentage of total of the balance sheet of the previous year. And what about the 6th column? Again, it relates to the current year figures in percentage term. But percentage of what? Percentage of balance sheet total. Again, let us assume long-term borrowings happens to be 50,000 and the total of the balance sheet happens to be 10 lakhs. So 50,000 is what percent of 10 lakh? That will give us 5%. 50,000 divided by 10 lakh into 100. Similarly, in the asset side, we will express each and every item of the previous year as a percentage of total of the balance sheet, and for the current year we will express each and every item of the asset side as a percentage of total of the balance sheet. Now let us understand the concept of common size balance sheet through an example. Here in the question, We need to prepare a common size balance sheet on the basis of the information given below in the balance sheet of Z Limited as at 31st March 2016. In this question, only a single year is given. So, the columns that we'll prepare for the common size balance sheet, basically there are 6 columns, but in this question only single year is given, so we can exclude the 2 columns. So we will make total of 4 columns, namely particulars, note number, figures at the end of current year, and percentage of total of balance sheet. That is, we need to express each and every item of equity and liability and assets as a percentage of total of balance sheet. So see, 6 lakh is what percent of 10 lakh? 60%. 1 lakh is what percent of 10 lakh? 10%. 2 lakh 50,000 is what percent of 10 lakh? 25%. And 50,000 is what percent of 10 lakh? 5%. So this will be 60%, 10%, 25%, 5%. And 10 lakh is what percent of 10 lakh? Because the common base is the total of balance sheet. So 10 lakh is what percent of 10 lakh? 100%. Or otherwise, just add this one: 60 plus 10, 70 plus 25, 95 plus 5, 100. In the same way, let us deal with the items in the assets side. 6 lakh 50,000 is what percent of 10 lakh? 65%. 1 lakh 50,000 is what percent of 10 lakh? 15%. 70,000 is what percent of 10 lakh? 7%. 50,000 is what percent of 10 lakh? 5%. And 80,000 is what percent of 10 lakh? 8%. 65%, 15%, 7%, 5%, 8%, and the total comes to 100%. Just see the solution.